Hi, welcome back. I'm Marek Mularczyk, your host, and this is PhotoshopLightroomTV, your weekly video podcast about anything Photoshop, Lightroom, and photography. I'm sure you've heard the exciting news. Lightroom 4 is out, as well as Photoshop CS6 is now available as a public beta. Public beta means you can download it and try it out. It's not a final product yet, but you can use it for free. Okay, so I'm sure you know about it. I'm pretty sure you downloaded Photoshop already and you're working with it. Okay, now this week I've still got some tutorials that I was creating on Photoshop CS5, but from next week I'll be moving to Photoshop CS6. Okay, let's jump into the first tutorial. In the first tutorial I'm going to show you how to create an interesting effect using gradient and the layer mask to create an image with a nice interesting frame and how you can control it through smart objects. Okay, so let's jump into Photoshop. Okay, here's what I'm going to show you in this tutorial here. I've got this image opened and I'll be talking about lens flare filter, creating lens flare effects on the images. And I'm going to show you how to do it in a new way to get more control. Here's how we would do it in the past. I've got this image open, one background layer. I'll go straight to Filter, Render, and Lens Flare. And in the Lens Flare dialog box, I will use one of the lens types. So there are 4 different lens types. In this case, I'm going to stick to 50-300 zoom. I'm okay with the default setting, and I'll just reposition the effects. So I'm going to position it here. I'll just press OK. Looks great, but what if I decide that I want to reposition it? I don't like the effect in here. Well, if I go back to Filter and Render and Lens Flare, what's going to happen is I'm going to create another lens flare effect. Okay, so I'm ending up with 2, which doesn't look natural. So I'm just going to undo the last few steps. Okay, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to convert the background layer into a smart object. Okay, so I'm just going to right click on the layer, which is convert to smart object. So the layer is now a smart object. And now I'm going to apply the lens flare filter. Filter, Render, Lens Flare. Okay, let's say I'm going to position the effect in here. We'll just press OK. Now, lens flare filter becomes a smart filter, which means I can edit it at any time. So if I want to make any adjustments in here, I'll just double click on the name of the filter in the layers panel, lens flare. It reopens the lens flare filter dialog box. I'm going to reposition the lens flare effect, and I'll just press OK. Okay. Still don't like it? That's not a problem. You double click on the lens flare filter. It reopens the same dialog box. Adjust it. Maybe make it brighter, darker. Press OK. Because it's a smart object, this is a smart filter, so it can be re-edited at any time. And that's how we do it nowadays in Photoshop. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial in Photoshop. I hope you're going to use that very interesting creative effect, and you got so much control because you use smart objects. And if you apply any filters, they become smart filters. You can change them at any time. Right. And last week I announced that I would be giving away my book with websites that work with Adobe Dreamweaver CS5. We've got a winner. To find out who is getting the book, go to my Facebook page, Marek Mularczyk SAI Training. Okay, I'll be posting it for free. And so I know where the book is going. You can check it out. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Photoshop CS6 is out as a public beta. And I started creating videos on Photoshop CS6. You can watch the first 2 videos on my blog, PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk, and I'll be creating more, one each day. So next week you're going to see more videos on my blog. So now let's jump into the next tutorial. Next tutorial will be in Photoshop as well, and this time I'm going to show you, here's something I get asked quite a lot. How can I take text and change it, reshape it, not resize it, change its shapes? So I'll be showing you how to take text, how to convert it to a path, and play with it, reshape it. Okay, let's jump into Photoshop. Hi, I'm Marek Mularczyk from sitetraining.co.uk, and here I am in Photoshop, and here's what I'm going to talk about today. Have you ever wondered how you could take text and resize it, reshape it in Photoshop? Here's what you can do. This video tutorial is the answer to your questions. I'm going to type in some text here, and I'm going to use white color for the text. Now just type in the word Photoshop. Okay, accept it. I'll position it here in the center. I'll make it bigger, even bigger than that. Okay, and that's a text layer. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to convert this text layer into a shape layer. There's a number of things you could do. You can use the menu, layer, type, convert to shape, just an example. Or you can right click on the layer in the layers panel and choose convert to shape as well. Okay. This will convert it into a shape layer. Now what you can do is you can use the direct selection tool, the white arrow. I'm going to zoom in close on the text, okay, and you can start reshaping the layer. You click on the shape, on one letter, which is shape now, and you get all the anchor points, and you can start reshaping, the letter. I'll do the same here. Okay, I'll reshape it as well with the T. Going to move it inside, right, same with H here. Just reshaping the letters using the direct selection tool here in Photoshop, same here. You can reshape it in any way you want. There's lots of options in here. Let's do the same with H. Get it with the earlier. Okay, and that's how you can reshape the letters in Photoshop. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This tutorial in Photoshop. Remember, from next week we'll jumping into Photoshop CS6. And we'll be jumping into Lightroom 4 as well. From now on, I'll be using Lightroom 4 and Photoshop CS6 in video tutorials. Now, that's it for this week. Just a couple of resources for you to get to watch the videos about new Photoshop CS6. Remember, go to my blog, PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk. I'm posting one video each day. For any information about my Adobe Certified courses, go to saitraining.co.uk. Remember, we're giving away 10% to charities. We support charities. You can find out more on our website, saitraining.co.uk. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm Marek Mularczyk from saitraining.co.uk. And thank you for watching this week's episode of Photoshop Lightroom TV. I'm going to see you next week on episode 70. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.